caused by the dislocation of classrooms by academic administration at the University of El Salvador, multidisciplinary Western campus for students in the English extension program in the period of March 2015. This topic for ours is very important because all the people in the levels have problems with the classrooms because the classrooms aren't enough for the people that study English classes in the extension program. The justification. The opinion of people who take classes in the English extension program and make a study with respect to the learning environment in which they develop their classes becomes necessary to know if really the University of El Salvador to serve the multidisciplinary academic administration of Western campus provide the necessary conditions for learning a new language, and if the authorities are giving the importance English extension program deserves. Why? Because for the authorities the program is important, but if the authorities didn't give us a classroom, in our minds, the program is not important for them, and nowadays all the people that stay in this program are paid for stay to recite classes. The objectives in our research, the general objective in our research is determine whether the learning environment provided by the academic administration of the multidisciplinary Western campus is suitable for learning English. Why? Because it's important that when you are to stay reciting classes, that you are in a good condition with the space, with the colors, with the ventilation too. And the specific objects for our research are the first one. Evaluate the allocation of classroom provided by academic administration, as where it is sufficient to meet the needs of English extension program. This objective is about if academic administration and the multidisciplinary Western campus are enough to have this program for the people who learn English in Santa Ana City. The second one is investigate how it affects the process of teaching and learning the lack of a suitable learning environment for the students. English extension program of the multidisciplinary Western campus. It's important to know if the process of teaching and learning English is good for the people who recite classes in this place. It's important because if for the people are lack, they can show all their abilities. Theoretical framework. The educational environment, the physical environment. It's very important to have a conception about the educational environment. The environment is conceived as a daily construction, daily reflection, permanent uniqueness to ensure the diversity and richness of her life in relationship. The educational environment expression suggests the environment as a subject acting in humans and transforms, because your environment transforms your life, and the educational environment is very important that you can transform your brain, that you can transform your ideas to learning English. For the physical environment. The physical environment is very important in our investigation, because when we are talking about the physical environment, we are talking about the classrooms. And the classroom is the principal objective in our research, because the physical environment involves the geography, the installation and environment provisions which are basic elements that function as the infrastructure in which participants move in an educational process. It's very, very important, this part for us. The classroom. The classroom are more than four walls, because the classroom is important that you feel good in this place, because it's the center when all the people stay in the education process are meeting, are learning, and it's important for students and teachers, because the teachers need to feel good in the classrooms too. The classroom need have a good lighting, a good ventilation, and others. Good colors, colors that you feel good. For example, the yellow color is relation with the happiness, and the happiness is important for the students. About the environmental condition of the classroom for teaching English is the same. When you feel good with your environment, if you have the necessary space, if you have the necessary desk, if you have the necessary things to learn English. But for the teachers, it's important to have the environment condition is the classroom for teaching English are important too, because the teachers can develop in a good way all the topics in the program, because the teacher needs to have good boards, good blackboards, good whiteboards. The teachers needs to have projectors. The teacher needs to have all the conditions to develop the program. It's important. And the environmental condition of the classroom of teaching English are important, because for the foreign language, it's vital to note that infrastructure classroom becomes an active element in the process of teaching and learning, not only in different subjects taught, but also in the English language. The condition that it must provide postures or work not limited to the walls, but must also meet pedagogical functions to ensure successful learning. In the last one, using laboratory for teacher English language teaching. It's important that you have in your university to have an English laboratory, because in this place you can develop more important activities. For example, the listening exams, because you need to have a good audition. When you are showing pictures, you need to have a good play for these things. So it's very important to use in this laboratory for English, and it's important that the English extension program by academic administration provides for the students this place.
Okay, we are going to continue talking about the research. The research that we did is, in our research, we decided to take us a couple of students. We passed a survey for 9 students in the level 14. Right. These students are from the extension English program who answered a survey of 9 questions, which reflect the objective of the research. As Elisa has said, we have set up some objectives for this research. We are going to continue talking about something about the survey. Okay, the genders results about people who we interviewed. We can see here that we interviewed some people that were female. They are the 30% of the students in that class, in the 14th level. And then we have the male, that they are 67% of the other persons. All right. We can see a difference that sometimes in a classroom we can have female and also male. And the number of students can vary for being in a classroom of English. The first question, we decided to answer this. Do you have a specific classroom for each day where you attend classes? That was the question that we passed in the survey. In this question, all the students did not have a permanent classroom for class each day of the week. As we were students, we finished our 20 levels, so we realized that we couldn't find some places available around the university. And it could be a permanent problem because you are not going to know where you are going to have your classes. So for that reason, we decided to ask this question to the students. And the 0% answered yes, and the 100% answered no. So we are going to pass with the second answer, and it says, if your answer is negative, where do you attend classes? That was the question that we wanted to know, where they attend classes every day. And we can see that we have decided that in a room alone, the 12% say the 12% are receiving classes in a room alone. In an empty classroom, only the 37% says that. And in the 25%, whoever had classroom, okay? And it means that they don't know where the classrooms are available, so they decide to take classes in whatever they want, okay? And the other percent is for the 13%, and they are from the available classroom, right? We can see also another 13% that in a main office or some medicine classroom, right? We know that there are some available classrooms in the medicine building that you as a student in the English extension program, you can take classes there. So sometimes if you want to make some interviews, or if you want to take some listening exams for you to enter in the English extension program, you have to go to the main office, and you have to go there, and you have to put your hands up, and you have to listen for your exam. And sometimes there are people around, and they can interrupt you. Okay, we can pass to the third question, and it says, are the classrooms adequate for the number of students in your group? Well, the majority of the students answered that is not an adequate classroom. So what does it mean? So that we know that in the University of El Salvador we have available some classrooms, and sometimes they are full of people because they are having classes at the same time, right? And we can see that the 100% of the people that we interviewed said yes. All right. So they think that the classrooms that we have in the university, they are not the adequate for you to practice English and to learn English. All right. That was the question that we wanted to know. Are the classrooms adequate for the number of students in your group? Right. We have the fourth question, and it says, do you think that the classroom has sufficient reduction of external noises and improvement lighting and audition? And we can see here that the 11% says yes, the 89% says no. So what does it mean? That they think that we don't have any reduction for the noises that we can face in every English classes. And it says that this is the impact of this is that you're not going to pay attention about what the teacher is saying to you about the teacher is trying to do learning, okay, and it could be a big impact inside the classroom, right? Because we don't have sufficient reduction of external noises, and in order to reduce that, we can say that we have to have some classrooms that will be suitable for you to practice your English. That we can see that in the University of El Salvador is very it's not enough for us to find a classroom that way. Okay, in the 5 question is, do you consider classrooms are suitable for developing all the content during the courses? The 22% says yes, and the 78% says no. So most students think that they do not have a proper classrooms to develop the content of the class. Well, as I have learned in the teaching process, because I was teaching some English classes as well, and I can say that a classroom must be decorated. A classroom must be suitable for the learning process, because if you go to a classroom that is empty and you only have your shirts and just that and the board in front of you, it could be not proper for the learning process, because it's not going to be suitable for you to be entertained, for you to be paying attention, or for you learning about all the things that you can see around inside the classroom, right? And you can see that the 78% says no, that we don't have a proper classroom to develop the content of the class. The number 6, it says, do you consider that in the assigned classrooms there are certain issues that can cut off the learning process used by external noises? You may ask, for example, that what is cut off? Cut off is to stop the learning process, okay? And the 33% says no, and the 67% says yes. Okay, they do not consider that they consider that in the assigned classroom there are certain issues that can cut off the learning process, okay, by the external process. As I mentioned to you before, so if there is a lot of noises, those kind of noises can cut off your learning process. So what it means is that we have to have a suitable classrooms, because we don't have to stop our learning process, because our mind will be you will be paying attention to what the teacher is saying at the same time. And if you have some noises outside the classroom, it will be bad for you, because you are not going to pay attention at all. And the number 7, it says that, do you consider that every classroom has a suitable infrastructure to stimulate the learning process inside the classroom? Well, the 22% says yes, and the 78% says no. It means that some students think that students in their majority consider that the infrastructure of classrooms does not stimulate the learning process, right? In the infrastructure, we can see the lighting, sometimes the ventilations inside the classroom. Sometimes it can be suitable for us, and also the infrastructure of the ceiling. Sometimes we can see classroom that we don't have ceilings, or we don't have a door, so it could be it cannot be suitable for the stimulation of your learning process. So this is something that the authorities have to take into account in every classroom. In the number 8, it says, do you think having a suitable environment inside the classroom will help you in the English class as a second language process? The 33% says no, and the 67% says yes. So they consider that having a suitable environment inside the classroom will help as a second language process. And as you can see, the 67% says yes, and they are right. because if you have a suitable environment inside the classroom, not only inside the classroom, but also outside the classroom, it will stimulate the learning process as a second language process, right? As a second language. So it means that if you have a good environment, you will learn more, you will pay attention to what the teacher is saying, and you're not going to be distracted for what is happening outside or what is happening inside the classroom. Alright, and the number 9, it says, can you give some suggestions in order to improve the learning process inside the classroom during the English extension program? The 22% says others, and the 45% says new building 2 English classes, and the 33% says new tools. And some students think that the English extension program needs new tools, for example, projectors, desks, and computers. And they are right, because sometimes we have presentations and we don't have projectors. We have to we have to ask to another departments in order to have a projector, right? And also we need new desks. So we need comfortable desks. So the authorities have to take into account that, because we have to be comfortable inside the classroom in order to pay attention, in order to learn the English process. And also computers. We don't have computers. Starting from the level 1 to the level 20, we don't have any computers. We haven't gone to the laboratory in order to have a listening practice, and because we need that computers. So we need a laboratory classroom, as Elisa said. So it could be very beneficial to us, to the students, because they're going to learn better. And well, we can see technological tools can extend learning in powerful ways. Those tools can provide the students and the teacher with access to up-to-date primary source of materials and opportunities for expressing understanding via multimedia learning that is the relevant, and assessment that is the authentic training for publishing and presenting their new knowledge. And I have here this one, and I'm going to read it faster, okay? Effective integration of technology is achieved when students are able to select technology tools to help them obtain information as a timely manner, analyze and synthesize the information and present it professionally. The technology should become an integral part of how the classroom functions, as accessible as all other classroom tools. So we have finished our video, and we wanted to share it to you, teacher, about what we were researching in these days. So thank you very much for paying attention to us, and that was our topic. Okay?